All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Boxing Rush Hour Show, fightsatw.com, fights around the world. I am here with Mr. Semper Fi, Jamel Herring, former WBO super featherweight champion, who is now mixing it up in the bare knuckle arenas near you. What's up, Jamel?
I'm good, man. Good to see you, brother. Semper Fi, man. Semper
All
Fi. Always good to
right.
see a fellow Marine.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, listen, I'm gonna get into a little bit of heavy stuff up front because I
Okay.
think I think there's some questions and things that people want to know, right?
Sure. Sure.
A lot of stuff in the public. But your last pro boxing bout was April 2024, if I'm not mistaken,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yep.
Um, After that, there was on a personal note, there was some reports came out about being arrested in January
Yep.
and March of 2025. Being a year removed from those incidents, what are your thoughts now that you've been able to process all of that?
Whatever doesn't break you, you know what I'm saying, builds you, bro. I mean, you know probably better than I do at times, especially as a Marine, being in a leadership position. And then also, you got to lead by example. So again, man, like I have my ups and downs. Even when things got dismissed and I was found, what I'm saying, I wasn't in the wrong. I still had you see it all the time, bro. I still had to face the public scrutiny, but you never once see me run away, make any excuses. Ask for anybody to feel bad for me, anything like that. I just basically just, took the punches and rolled with it like a typical fighter.
Yeah, no. I got you, man, and I appreciate you answering that. In July, months later, you signed to BKFC.
Yep.
Why did you feel like that move was the move to make at that point?
I think it was more of a blessing in disguise. Like you said, just go through that year of 2025, man. 2025 was rough on me, man. It was rough on me. Like I said, when you're in the spotlight, you're pretty much guilty before innocent in anything. So for me, I felt like I needed to do something. Like, I just had that Marine Corps mentality. Just sitting at home in a room wasn't the best fit for me. And that's when I reached out to David Feldman. And, I felt like, you know what, we always like to do something new, you know what I'm saying? Especially with Marines, we just love to explore and do what we do. So I just wanted to do something new and give it a try. You know what I mean? As you seen, bro, I was still getting offered, boxing fights I was supposed to fight. Harlem Ubik at one point in the UK, but it just took too long to come together. And then I had another fight. I had another fight lined up with Dimitri Salita and them. And right when I was going to make that fight, that's when David Feldman came to me. Hey, we got you. We got a fight for you. We got a date for you, which came in January. Because like you said, I signed in July. So the whole, I was just patiently waiting and waiting, but I was still training. And then David came at the right moment, and then you see, I just took it from there, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, and you had your first BKFC fight in January against Matt Guiman, I think his
Matt
name is
Guyman.
Guyman. Yeah, you earned the unanimous decision.
Hmm.
What did you get out of that first experience being in the bare knuckle ring?
It was different. It was different. Especially trying to find your range without the glove and the padding. That was the main thing for me. Like, even people, it may not look like much, but like those couple of inches on the edge of the glove is definitely what a fighter defines his range. But plus it was a faster pace. So I had right at the gate. You seen the fight? He jumped right on me, and I had to. I couldn't sit back and think. I had to just I had to use instinct and just go from there. And that's what I did. And but I think like by round three, that's when I started finding my rhythm again. And it was easy. It was smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, yeah, and so like when when you prepared for that first fight, and now that you're preparing for the second fight, and you have your lessons learned, right? Like what you
Right.
experienced in that, how different or what changes or what have you made to this training camp to make those adjustments to account for that distance and everything else that you spoke of?
Yeah, I probably, do a lot more pad work, maybe without the gloves at times, just to get an idea of range. For that fight, honestly, I probably they trained maybe like 4 weeks, and then the fifth week was fight week, of course. But so this time around, I started early. I think I started training camp literally April 1st of this month. So I've been out here a couple of weeks now or so. Again, my weight. I'm probably this morning I was about 13 pounds away from weight. So again, that's just the Marine Corps discipline. Even though I didn't have issues with the last camp either, but I just wanted to start things a lot more earlier this time around, to get just to fine tune things. There was no like you put out at the beginning of the interview. My last fight was well, yeah, now 2 years ago now. You know what I'm saying? So the first fight back in just any competition back in January. I had to get that ring rust off and go from there. So, that still played a part. But now with the quick turnaround, I feel a lot more easy going into this fight. Not saying I mean I was excited for the first fight, but now having that experience under the belt and knowing what to expect, I feel 10 times better going into this next fight.
Yeah. All right. Now you're fighting for they call it the bantamweight title.
Right.
The vacant BKFC bantamweight title is at 135 pounds for people that are
Right.
watching and don't want to get that confused
With
with the
boxing.
bantamweight with boxing, right? So
Yeah.
135, so that you can try to become a two-sport champion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, is training for a BKFC fight and it being a world title any different than getting ready for your first world title fight against Ida
No.
back in 2019?
No, I have the same mindset, bro. I have the same exact mindset as I did then. I know what it takes to become a world champion. I know how much work you need to put in to become a champion. I train honestly. I train about 2, 3 times a day. So like that's the reason why I came out to Riverside, California for training camp to get away from all distractions and just focus solely on just the sport and just solely on just bettering myself. So again, when you know what I'm saying, train for world title fights, you got to put in the work that others may not want to do or do overall. So and it just like again, I always attribute everything to the Marine Corps with us, man. Like man, we've there's been plenty of days that we can't even remember that we've had to do jobs that our bodies just were fatigued or we just didn't have the mental fortitude at the time to do it, but we pushed ourselves to do it anyway. So that's just the type of attitude I have now. Like I said yesterday, I had true training sessions, but I felt like I still needed to do more. So I went out last night to go get in another workout, and then I lay down to rest, and knowing that in my belief that I'm doing far more than what my opponent may be doing on a daily routine.
Okay. All right. And now do you have to kind of also watch that because you're not no spring chicken no more.
I mean, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, bro, like it's more mental. It's more
Yeah, yeah,
mental.
yeah.
Like again, you see, bro. I have never been over. I never like blown up in weight where I'm had to cut down 30 pounds. Of course, for me, it's more muscles. I have to relax my muscles more than anything. Of course, you got to get the proper rest. But again, it doesn't slow me down. It takes my trainers, Henry Ramirez, and those guys to basically, of course, pull me back a bit. Like, okay, you
Mhm.
don't have to do that. But again, right? I mean, and when we have been cut back, like honestly, we don't do as much sparring as I may have done when I was doing boxing. You know what I mean? Like I'll probably spar maybe 2 times a week, and then we'll just work on things and just getting sharp and cutting down. So so I don't have so my body's not taking a beating. You know what I mean? Because of the stuff you put on. So I'm not taking a beating. If anything, you know what I'm saying. And if I do decide to do extra work, I'm working at my own pace where I can know, like, okay, you know what? I don't have to do that today. I know I've done enough. I can go home, eat and rest and go from there.
Yeah, no doubt. And how much longer do you want to keep doing this? Competing and what are some of the things that you want to get into in the next phase of your life if you've thought about it at any point?
Um, I think I just want to. I want to continue competing as long as I'm having fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As for me, I never made even with boxing. I never made it as a job. As a job where I just do it for a check. I enjoy the sport. I enjoy competing. And it's the same for this. I mean, and until I'll know when my body says, okay, it's enough, is enough. And like, I'm glad you asked me that second question. Like for me, I want to basically get back into commentating. I always enjoyed commentating. I love calling the sport from my own lens and sharing my knowledge and opinions with the people that are tuning in and watching. So that's still always a goal to eventually get back into sports commentating, especially with boxing.
All right. And then lastly, listen, May 22nd, BKFC 90. And it's gonna be at the Palm Desert. You're fighting Nate Manis, 2 and
Yeah.
0 for the vacant BKFC bantamweight title. What should fans expect from you that night as they tune in or they show up to the arena?
I mean, it's gonna be a display. It's gonna be honestly, bro. It's gonna be another display of technique and skill. It'll have fireworks. Don't get me wrong, because Nate is gonna definitely come. He's more of an action fighter that comes forward. But again, experience and technique, I think is gonna basically show again like it did the first fight, and it's gonna go from there. I'm not saying looking for an easy night, but once I start finding my rhythm and start picking them apart, you're gonna see that there's levels in the difference between the two of us.
All right. Well, listen, Jamel, I appreciate your time today, and I wish you the best of luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you, brother. Wish you the best of luck with everything you're doing as well. Semper
Thank
Fi.
you. Thank you. Semper Fi.